Um, Hello, my fellow aviation peeps. What can I call you guys, man? There's got to be something better than that. I need to come up with a good acronym for my audience, and I've got, I think, a valid 200 and let me think, 310, 3, 290, 280 subscribers. I'm at Tuff-Kenneman Airport in New Garden Airport in Tuff-Kenneman, Pennsylvania. It's about 10 miles north of Wilmington, Delaware in Pennsylvania, just off of Route 1. Baltimore Pike goes right by here. This is an old airport. And right now, it just started just now. I was talking to a couple of old timers. I don't know if you can see, let's see, I can't turn it around, but I don't know if you can see the Mooney. It's out there, you can see the vertical tail. I'm not even sure if I'm holding this thing right. I can't change the view on this thing, but the guy that owns the Mooney right here and a friend of his were parking this Mooney. This guy just taxied it in and parked it. And I should have been taking a video of it. I don't know. I love hanging around these old pilots, man. It's the stuff they know is just, when I say old too, right? I'm 71. I'm calling these guys old timers. I'm 71. What am I? I'm a young old timer, I guess. Anyway, go off on a tangent. That's the way my mind works. There is something that just now went into effect that I have never heard of before. It's called a TFR, Tango Fox Romeo. Joe Biden is in Wilmington. Therefore, starting at 2:45 in the afternoon and going forward 3 or 4 days, you're not allowed to fly on a 30-mile radius. You're not allowed to go off the ground unless you have some very in-depth and detailed and administratively challenging flight plan or exception that allows you to come into the, I've never heard of this. Just because the president is within 30 miles of where this airport is, nobody's going to be flying in and out of here for until Monday. Today's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, either Monday or Tuesday, because the president is in Wilmington, Delaware, and this is about 10 miles from Wilmington, give or take a few. Tuff-Kenneman New Garden Airport. I love this place. It's a Kabu day, and I got to talk to a couple of old timers. And here's a question for my audience too that knows anything about the V-tail Bonanza, which I wish I could turn this thing around and show you the airplane, but I can't. V-tail old school Bonanza from this one was built in 1961 or 62, the guy was telling me, and he bought it in 1975. He's been flying it all that time. I'm sorry, not the Bonanza, the Mooney. I was asking these guys, they were parking this Mooney. They taxied it over, parked it. Right next to them is a V-tail Bonanza, which I did an emergency procedure on takeoff, a failure engine, an engine failure on takeoff. It's my most viewed video, and you can find it easily. It's a V-tail Bonanza. People were fascinated. This guy lost his engine right after takeoff. It was an exercise he was doing, but it's a great video. My question is, how do you slip a V-tail? I don't see how you can. Like if you're on final and you're a little bit high and you want to lose some altitude, I would always slip like a 152 or 172. It was a great maneuver to know because the chances of stalling are practically nil. I've never heard of a stall on a slip. If it's done correctly, you have to be pushing that nose down. But then when you kick in opposite rudder, it kind of swivels the nose up. It's counterintuitive, So, 2 things I'm bringing to you guys today. TFR. You ever heard of this? Because I can tell you back in the 80s, I was doing aerial photography over Philadelphia International Airport, and it was a Sunday, Saturday or Sunday, and we were right next to the sports stadiums there. The airport's in South Philadelphia, very close to the sports stadiums, and the Army-Navy game was going on there. And so I'm flying around, and I see Air Force One, only it's a helicopter, not an airplane. Air Force One is any airplane that the president happens to be on. That changes as soon as he boards an airplane or a helicopter, it becomes Air Force One. This was a helicopter flying around the Army-Navy game. He wants to go to the game. So, you know, it landed somewhere, and he got off and watched the Army-Navy game. I'm like having to get into a traffic jam like everybody else to get home. He goes and gets in his Air Force One and flies back to D.C. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. No wonder I can't say anything about Trump without it coming out wrong. No wonder he wants that job. It all figures. Anyway, here's a guy walking around. I'm going to see if I can ask him about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you could hit that like button, I'd appreciate it.